Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody?
Good.
It's
Good
sunshiny.
morning.
Yes, this beautiful spring day. Is it spring yet? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Good. Good. Okay. See what we have today. Oh, nah, got junk. All right. The sprint of the century. And there she is.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's excellent. This is great stuff, people. Get it out there. April 9th, 2025. Let's talk real estate. 16. Next week is the 16th. And all right. Okay, we may have a guest. Let me know, Kuhn, if he comes in. I don't see him yet. So
Will do.
we do have a
Yeah, I'll let you know as soon as he comes in. If he
okay.
is.
Yeah. We may have a home inspector for you today. We'll just see how that works out. And Nick is working on his camera.
Oh,
Oh,
thanks.
you still got the old camera.
Yeah, it should work now.
Yeah, the
Okay.
microphone's really bad on that one. That's the issue. Okay. Well, welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate. And let's finish up on some of the basic skills that Mike was presenting to us last week. And this one is very important, especially as you mature in your business. It's having the ability to walk away, the ability to say no and the ability to just leave a situation that's not going to get you anywhere. And you learn that from experience, but we can give you a few pointers on something that's not going to work. Not every transaction or every listing, every sale, every buyer is going to work. And rather than go through the frustration of getting them to sign a contract, knowing that the whole thing's going to fall apart and they're going to back away, they're not going to qualify, whatever it is, it makes no sense. Or even worse, you're sitting on a listing presentation and they're angry or they're hostile or they're upset during the listing presentation. They're yelling or screaming sometimes. And, they're convinced that real estate people are a bunch of crooks. People you don't want to work with. This is where you smile, stand up, shake their hand, and you walk away. Shauna, has that ever happened to you?
Yes.
Has it happened today?
Not today, but
Yeah.
it's happened in the past. It's just that you could tell right away it wasn't going to work, and it took courage, but I just, like you said, just stood up and said, "I'm sorry, this is not going to work. I
Mhm.
think you could find an agent that will be better suited for you." And
That's
I
right.
left.
That's right. So call Keller Williams and they can take care of you. But so yeah, it happens. And again, you learn that from experience. The first few times you see those clues, you may not recognize them and you may go ahead and learn it the hard way. And that's all right. I've learned probably everything the hard way. So that's okay. But just remember to look for those red flags.
Mhm.
And the ability to manage your time. If you look at the North Star sales system, the number one topic we have is the ability to manage your time to set a schedule that leads to productive activities, which lead to productive results. And probably the biggest challenge we face is the fact that we're all independent contractors, all realtors are. And because you're independent contractors, you think that you can do just about what you want, which is basically true. You're a sole proprietor in essence, and you can set your schedule and you can have it your way. It's your own, you've got your own Burger King. Just have it your way, do what you want to do. And that's fine. But the reason you're here to get a little training and to get a little exposure to how things are done um, is you have to manage your time and you have to do things and you have to do productive things and you have to be you really have to become a self-starter and create your schedule and follow your schedule. So it's the good and bad of real estate, you know? The good thing is you can do anything you want. The bad thing is you can end up doing nothing because of that. You see that quite often. Next is the ability to stay positive and optimistic. That's the hardest thing, and it's probably the most important thing. So, what's the advantage of being optimistic? Well, what's the advantage of being negative? Well, there isn't any. Consider avoiding negative news, at least on the days that you're working, or at least the times that you're working. Um, I sometimes read my emails before I even get out of bed, and every day there's the New York Times telling me what I need to know. I don't need to know it first thing in the morning, believe me. It is not a good thing. It is just a distraction. It's just going to throw me off. If I think I need to know or I want to know, I can go look at it at night or on the weekends or some other time where I can get agitated about things that I have absolutely no control over. So set it aside when you're going to work for yourself and run your own business. You don't need things like that. Oh, so keep reading books that inspire you. We got lots of ideas. I know, Shauna, you read a lot of books and have a lot of ideas about, hey, what's a good book to read? You probably just glance at your shelf and say, here's, I got 5 must reads right here. And keep putting positive thoughts in your head. So finally, nobody wins all the time. People strike out playing professional baseball. All the passes aren't completed by a college football quarterback. I mean, this is normal. But real estate people think they're supposed to win all the time. And I tell people that you're going to fail. It's not the failure you're learning from. It's how quickly you respond and get back up from the failures that you've had. That's very true. Somebody said it doesn't matter how many times you're knocked down as long as you get up. Because as long as you're getting up, you can stay in the presentation. And if sometimes you're going to make the best presentation of your life to a buyer or seller, and they're going to buy or sell from somebody else. Believe it or not, it happens. But most of the time they won't. If you prepare your presentation, if you are confident and you go in there to win, you are very likely to win. You can be the obvious choice on that. So let's take advantage of what's continuing to be a strong real estate market. And remember to treat your business like a business. I was looking at statistics on the real estate market on the RMLS, year-over-year closed sales for the first quarter of 25 are nearly identical to the first quarter of 2024. Now, 2024 was not a year that we're all bragging about, what a great year, but it was a successful year for a lot of people. And it was a decent amount of business in the real estate market in the RMLS. So we are on track right now. We are pretty much 100% duplicating 2024. But your job is to outperform the RMLS, outperform what you did last year. And there's absolutely no reason that you cannot do that.
Right.
Kuhn,
What a good, I was going to say, John, that's just a perfect message for right now. We have so many things that are going and then canceling and going and canceling. And we just have to keep our attitude up and know that these are just challenges where we can shine to our clients.
That's right. That's right. Take advantage. When life gives you lemons, what is it you make? Lemon burgers?
Lemonade. Lemonade.
Tasty. Tasty. Kuhn, we don't have our guest yet.
No, he's not going to make it today, unfortunately.
Okay, good.
He'll reschedule for next week.
Perfect.
So, yep.
Perfect. Okay, North Star listings. And we have these in the new system, so we don't get the map. We're still trying to replace the map, but how's our activity in Portland, Kuhn?
Great.
Any new?
Yeah, we got a couple announcements to make. We have closing by VNA Rodriguez, one of our newer agents who just signed on this year. She closed her very first transaction with us last Friday. So congrats to VNA. That one was a hard earned closing. We also
Yes.
have a closing by Faye. She closed on a house in Beaverton, working with buyers on the 8th, which was yesterday. So
Right.
congrats to Faye.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And in Coos Bay, we have a listing that came back on the market from Mindy Boston. She had a property in Bandon that was withdrawn a couple months ago, but it's back on the market with the new price at 875. So go check that out. And if you have any buyers looking to relocate to the coast, definitely send them Mindy's way. We can get you that information.
Okay. Where are the prices? Is that on here? The
Uh,
band?
the the one in Bandon, I'm not sure. This one just came back on the market yesterday.
Okay. Uh, we still have the island, it looks like.
Yeah,
Looks like that
yeah.
whole island for 424.9.
That's also Mindy's
That's
listing.
Mindy's also. Okay,
So,
that's nice. That's nice. Okay,
but we
Sean,
have a couple
anything?
more coming up. I'll
Uh,
announce them as soon as they come in. So,
all right. Oh dear.
That's what happens when you have two MLSs. There's nothing we can do about
Oh,
it.
well, I know. I mean, that's fine. I'm just a little disappointed that it's still here.
I know, but look at the price. We just dropped it.
That's good.
Yes, yes, it's the time to start dropping prices if they're not selling. So we're doing that. So in Longview, we had Jennifer Washam closed one yesterday. Congratulations to her.
Good.
Stephen Burright, his listing up in Castle Rock that we saw come on the market last week. I did predict that one would go fast and it went pending. And I believe Stephen actually double-ended that one. So
Okay.
congratulations to Stephen. And
Great.
then we had one come back on the market in Longview, Crescent Drive. It was briefly on off the market. I think we had somebody with cold feet, which seems to be happening quite a bit. And then Vancouver, we had I had two sale fails. One of them is already back in contract on a different house. Both were due to inspections, and we have let's see here. We have 5 listings currently in four listings and 2 in Longview that are currently going. So things are we're working. We're showing houses and just trying to keep things together right now.
It sounds like it. Can you tell us a little bit about the sale fails and what about the inspection caused them?
Sure. The first one, this has happened twice to me recently where people saw the inspection that was done by the seller and backed out. So I'm not so sure that having a pre-inspection is such a good thing, because all you're reading is a report, and you're not going through the process. So one of them was that, and then after we dropped our price and looked at that inspection and how much is to be done, we knew that we weren't going to be able to afford that house. So we canceled, but there was one that came up on the market that was of interest before that was much lower price. So we got in contract on that one. Then the inspection wasn't even his own. He looked at somebody else's inspection. So I'm just not so sure that asking for those pre-inspections, I'd rather have my buyer do their own inspection. And the next one was it was major expense items. So on a $775,000 house, we had over $50,000 in replacing roof and replacing HVAC system. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but things are changing in the laws of Washington, and maybe just all over are changing for what they can put in those refrigerants. So the cost of everything is going up for those types of systems. And it was apparent that they had never ever even serviced their system, and it was 22 years old. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so we moved on to another house. We're going to move on to another house. I'll find them something else.
Well, how do you counsel people on that? Because the problems don't go away.
Yeah, so I actually gave the full inspection to the listing agent and he took it. In Washington, they have to request it in writing, so we gave it to them. It's over $1,000 worth of inspections that they got for free on their house. But
Right.
I for this buyer, the counseling was hopefully the listing agent will have them address these issues because it's definitely it was one of the worst furnaces I've ever seen. So and it's 22 years old, so it's just not gonna make it. I don't even know if we could get it to last on a home warranty. We were thinking the home warranty way, but knowing that it's already almost it might not even last 6 months and you can't put a claim in the first 6 months. So you have to look at doing the full cost. And they were considering that, but when it just kept adding up and adding up, it was just too much money. So they're experienced buyers, so I couldn't really
Yeah.
convince. I mean, they knew they've been down this road, so they knew how much it was going to cost. And I worked hard for them. I got two bids from two different companies on both of those items, and they were comparable and well over $50,000 worth of stuff. So,
Okay.
um,
Kuhn, what do you think about, well, pre-inspections? All I can say is trends come along in real estate among realtors in a local area, and it happens here all the time. There's always a trend. For example, when's the last time you told your seller that you had to you had to vacuum and clean the entire HVAC system before you could list it? Well, there was a time when we were doing just that because it was a trend and everyone was expecting that we would do that just before we list a house. Are pre-inspections one of those things?
I I never recommend it. One, unless your sellers are willing to address the things they find in the pre-inspection, it's kind of pointless. The buyers are going to be doing their own inspections anyways, and once you know that there's an issue with the house, you have to disclose it.
Mhm.
You cannot avoid that. So, yeah, there's a group of people who want to know as much information before they put their house on the market. But if you're not willing to do the $50,000 HVAC replacement or replace the roof before you list it, I don't think there's any use to doing that. Like I said, the buyers are going to be doing their own inspections, and we can address the issues that come up during the inspection contingency period. The first set of negotiations is the price, but the second set of negotiations is during the inspection period. Just prepare
Sure.
your sellers to, what those negotiations may entail. I think that may be the best way to move forward. But unless they really, really want to do the inspections, I always advise them to just let the buyers do their own inspections.
Okay.
Right. And do we ever really want to see those inspections as the listing agent?
No,
No.
no,
No.
Just the portions so that if there's something they want to fix or if there's something,
exactly.
that portion. And yeah.
If you need that clarification, but replace the roof, you don't need to see the inspection
No.
when the buyer asks you to replace the roof. So there's actually very few instances. So it's protecting your client. It's thinking like a lawyer. It's not
Mhm.
that we're hiding anything or anybody wants to do that because no one does. But
Exactly.
think like a lawyer. Why are you inspecting it? You're just going to, find out things you don't need to know, and you probably have to disclose. That could open you up to having to give that inspection to a potential buyer, or at least decide what you need to disclose out of it, if not the entire contents of it. Any foundational issues or anything like that you
Yeah,
don't even know about.
I just, I didn't really understand why that agent wanted it. And then he says to me, it sounds like your clients just want a house. They should go buy a new house. And I didn't respond to that because he's going to find out when the next buyer goes that it's not just going to go away. I don't feel like
Mhm.
he had a lot of experience in that.
I think
So
we've all said that. Oh, this person needs a new house because they're not going to be satisfied with anything, but we don't know. Maybe that's just sometimes they don't need much of an excuse to not buy the house that they're not that thrilled about anyway.
You know,
So,
I would
yeah,
liken it to if you're buying the product, you want to inspect it. I would liken it to letting the car dealership test drive your car for you. They're selling the car. Of
right.
course, it's perfect to them. You're test driving the product that you're buying. Why would you use someone else's report? You know what I
Shawnee, you were right. They're looking at an inspection. It's just a piece of paper, but they didn't hire their own consultant to go through the entire process with them. And that's very different. So there's no one to discuss those things as they're found.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because when you're there with the inspector, he lets you know, oh, I'm putting this here because this is a new regulation. They didn't build houses that way at this time. And he lets you know all these little things that you could like shorten the list a little bit when they sit down and ask for what they want because not every house. I have a question, if you don't mind. There's a new thing that they're doing when they're building houses. They're putting the dryer vents out the top of the house, and they have like the inspector called it out because they have the the shield or the grated thing on the vent cover there, and he says that's a fire hazard. But if you don't have the vented thing, can animals get in it, or can lint just go all over your roof? So does anybody know anything about that? I would like to know their opinion if they do.
you mean a graded cover
Yeah, like you
instead
would
of the
see. Yeah.
because the flapper door won't work at that
No,
angle.
it's just, it doesn't have a flapper. It was just
Hmm.
the
shooting out
flapper's
the
down
window?
below.
Is there a booster motor, a pump in the system? When a dryer vent is a long run, they have to put a blower in it.
That's a good question.
Because going
I,
straight up 2 floors seems like it would be a problem. It would have to have a booster motor.
yeah, because my client who's got that inspection, which is actually, that's like the worst thing. So we're pretty happy with that one. But she's very sensitive to it because her sister's house almost burned down because of the lint building up. So it is a fire hazard.
Yes, it is.
But it's been there and there's only a tiny, tiny bit of lint on it. So there's the secondary one that's below. So I'm just wondering, I guess I need to call a builder or somebody who understands that new trend. I guess that's the way they're going to be doing it is up through the roof instead of out the side of the house.
Is this a new house? No, this is a resale.
It's a new house, but I mean, it's a fairly new house. It's a resale though.
It's a
And
resale.
yeah, I haven't seen it before.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
does it
don't.
eliminate the need to clear out I mean, I suppose you'd still have to go make sure it's cleared out every once in a while, just like any vent.
Like once
Interesting.
a year when you do
But
your
like you said,
roof.
yeah, is lint just shooting up into the sky?
I don't know. All
I
over
mean, I
this
guess it's
roof.
shooting out, you have a catch in your house, and then I guess it is kind of shooting out the side of the house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got to go somewhere.
right.
And we always had those catchers on the outside of the house, but
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true.
Yeah. Well, let us
Interesting.
know
Anyways,
what you find out because that's interesting. I've
it
not
is interesting.
I've not heard of them going straight up. They always go off to the side somehow, somewhere. And we see that in condos a lot. In multi-story building, they've got to go out the side. And there we do get some very long runs to get them out. And so they have booster systems, but they all have to be cleaned, every single one of them. Even if the dryer backs up to the outside wall, it can still get clogged and start a fire. So we do it every year to every 3 years in condominiums. So I'm sure a house would be the same situation. And Shauna, do you see we got a message from Shelley?
Okay, let me see. All right, so Augie had a closing and Annie wrote up and accepted a contract with Corey Barton Homes. So that must be a
Ah,
new listing.
that's nice. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, they're busy. They're really busy in Idaho, so that's good.
And new homes are nice to sell. The buyers are usually happy with a new home. There's a little extra excitement on new construction, without a doubt. So good work, everybody. It's excellent. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's get back to that company and office events. Kuhn, what do you have coming up?
We have a lunch and learn scheduled for the 24th. I'm working on some classes with Chicago Title. I'll announce those as soon as it is finalized. But expect to see something soon, and it will definitely be on the last Thursday of the month, which is the 24th. 24th. Yeah, I'll let you guys know.
Okay. Okay. Anything else coming up?
I don't have a date yet, but like I said, I already know I want to get, I'm trying to nail it down with the RMLS because I want to do another class with them because they had a lot, they were very helpful in the last one. So I want to do maybe the forewarn class that they have. So,
we are still doing broker tours every Tuesday. We had a great group. We had a group of 9 yesterday, and we went and saw some great houses and talked about real estate, met some really nice agents, and join us if you can. We also learned that there may be an event coming up on the 24th. I believe it's from the LGBTQ Alliance through PMAR. I believe there's a happy hour going on the 24th, and we'll let everyone know as soon as we get more information. If you're interested in joining that alliance or checking it out, please let us know.
Okay. Excellent. All right, let's get to it. How's the market? 6.64, right in the middle of the sixes. And that is not a bad place to be. And I think that's where, we were all hoping we would be by now and that we would be happy with it. So are we happy? We're happy. Daily rates continue trending lower. According to Money's daily survey, the average rate on a 30-year fixed rate loan was 6.64 on Friday. It's a decrease of 0.65 percentage points. All other loan types saw rates fall as well. The impact of recently implemented last week. So something was recently implemented last week. That's not a complete sentence. But it drove the yields on the 10-year Treasury note, which mortgage rates tend to follow the 10-year Treasury note briefly below 4. So there was a change in that. Lower rates have helped ease the cost of financing a home purchase. However, high home prices and economic uncertainty mean many prospective home buyers are opting to wait. Tell us something we don't know. So there's your chart. You can drag it and send it to your people. 6.64, it's a good rate. And people can do what they need to do. If it's a good time to buy, this is a good rate to buy with. And affordability has improved slightly. What did I say? It was up 89. Is 89? It is actually, I didn't change the headline, but it is up to 91. If I can see that in there. Yeah, 91. So affordability for the for the first quarter of 2025 is up about 3 points. So at least it's a change in the right direction. It's not enough to bring in a ton of buyers, but like we say, each little percentage point is real people in there. And it's hundreds or maybe thousands of people that are affected that are able to buy that couldn't buy before. And that's certainly true of interest rates. Each little point affects actual people who are in that position.
Yes. Nationally, up to like 100,000 per point.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised. The absorption rate, we're at 3 months in the metro area, which puts us on the border between a seller's market, market favoring sellers, and a balanced market. So you can tell the sellers that it is still a favorable market to sellers if that will help them make a decision on whether they're going to list or not.
Yeah,
And
I'm seeing
yeah,
houses are going pretty fast right now. Seems like.
okay, that would favor sellers too,
Mhm. Well, the ones my buyers want are going fast
isn't
anyway.
it? Yeah, isn't it that way? Um, yeah, is there an index of houses that people really like? Or just, we just look at all these big numbers, there's 500 were listed this week. Were any of them any good?
Or they're,
Were they,
almost $1 million houses that are
yeah,
sitting on the market for
hmm,
8 months before they sell. Yeah.
yeah, $1 million houses or houses that are not, maybe big enough for a family or, yeah, it's true. The good ones always sell. Good ones always go first. What's the ideal house? We've talked about that. Shauna, you even said you only sell 3 bedroom, uh,
Two bath ranches. Yeah.
two bath ranches with an attached garage, one level, built in 1955. Uh,
If
Well, they're
well,
in the 70s. They're in the 70s.
yeah, but there is a certain kind of house, maybe the Brady Bunch house, that will just sell. It has no flaws. It has no, oh, it's not big enough, or we need another bathroom. We need this. It's got, doesn't have the master on the main. It has everything. It ticks every box, and it's a mid-century ranch, essentially.
hmm
I think they're a little boring, but that's,
It's the perfect home for an investor and or first-time home buyer, and it houses the vast majority of the American families.
And the empty nesters.
yeah.
Right.
It's the perfect house.
Yes,
It is
it
the perfect house for rent or for sale. Okay. Kuhn, do you want to share your
Yep.
screen?
I'll
Okay, let me make sure you're able to do that.
pull that up. Can you guys see the screen? Instant
I see it.
reaction. Perfect. We have a jobs report for April 4th of 2025. Wall Street is struggling, but Main Street is managing to hold on so far. Job gains were solid in March with 2,028 net additions. More Americans also chose to look for jobs, which caused the unemployment rate to tick up to 4.2%. The wage growth of 3.8% is outpacing consumer price inflation at 2.8%. However, keep in mind that jobs data tends to be a lagging indicator of the economy. Despite the second consecutive month of reductions in federal government jobs, overall government staffing increased due to local government hiring, primarily in the education sector. Expect further declines in federal jobs in the coming months. Construction jobs rose in the non-residential sector, while there was a pullback among general contractors in the residential sector. Okay, interesting. The future direction of the economy remains uncertain due to tariff wars and potential negotiations. In the meantime, interest rates on FHA and VA loans could soon drop below 6% in a matter of days. Oh, that's exciting news. Rates on conventional and jumbo loans are also declining as money shifts from stocks to bonds. The current job additions and decreasing rates are likely to lead to more home sales. In states with faster job additions, particularly in the Rocky Mountain time zone and southern states, home sales could increase significantly. Be prepared. Those are good news. As you can see, total payroll jobs rose from last year, which is an increase of 30 million from 2,000. Payroll additions, again, this shows that there was an increase in jobs, up 228,000 since last month. And unemployment rate increased, but that's only because people are now entering back into the job market and looking for jobs. I think that's also a good sign that people are getting back in. And as you can see, wage growth, which is in the red, it was 3.8% in March, and that outpaced the consumer price at 2.8% in February. This is a really good chart here as well. These are showing the job gains since pre-COVID record high payroll employment. Which is a percent change from March of 2020 to December of 2024. In our state, there was an increase of 2.1%. In Washington, 5.3%, and in Idaho was 14.6%. So that's a good increase for our area, especially for Idaho. And as the article stated, with the increase of jobs, and the lowering of these rates, you guys might see an increase of buyers coming back in the market. So definitely be prepared. And this chart shows the 10-year treasury yield compared to the mortgage rate. They're both heading in the same direction. So let's see how far down the mortgage rate will go in the upcoming weeks and months. But like they said, be prepared for an influx of buyers, and be ready.
Okay. Be ready. That's good advice.
Yeah.
All
It's a good
right.
combination of seasonal and the decreasing rates. We're seeing increase of buyers here in Oregon, and all of our agents are definitely ready.
Good. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Hi, this is Grant.
Hi there.
Hey, John. I had a question, have and want. Before I forgot about it, I have a buyer looking for land where they could uh, farm or have a garden on it, and are looking for uh, a home on the property, but if it had an ADU or another home on the property as well. And uh, they are folks that are um, brain injured, and their organization has reached out to me to look into property. And I thought maybe there might be some agents out there. They aren't opposed to Southwest Washington, and I wanted to note that as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are they looking for acreage or just a large?
Well, a large lot, I would say, and up to an acre, I would suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I've been working on it, and I just wanted to uh, just note this if I could.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep a note of that. Okay. Well, let's get into the local statistics. The Portland Metro last week, ending on April 3rd, 619 new listings, up 58% on new listings from, I believe, from the prior week. Market time in the market is down slightly, but it's still 69 days, which is a nice long period of time, I think. Median sales price $565, with an average sales price of $673.9, and 266 closed sales, up 24%. So good activity. It's climbing up to the peak months. This is still the climbing phase of climbing Everest. We're still getting up there. And Clark County, Vancouver, we have 166 new listings, which is also up 23.9%. And slightly down, but 54 days, which is decent. It's not really, 54 days is not exactly slamming the door on buyers trying to look at houses. That's time to get an idea of what's out there. Median sales price, $545, with an average sales price of $591, which is last week's activity. And then Polk and Marion County, which includes Salem, Oregon, new listings, 84 new listings, which is up 84%. So they really are jumping back into the swing of it. 44 days on the market, which is down slightly, which is a little quick. It's over 30 days, but it's still quite a bit quicker than what we're seeing up north. And median and the average sales price are right at $450,000 for Salem area, the Polk and the Marion counties, which is a huge territory. So a little more affordability as you go south from Portland. Okay, the Century 21 University schedule. So that's been updated. And you can click to register and get some. No, those no. These are the links. The title is the link. And if you want to click on these, I would log into 21 Online first, and then these links will go directly to this section, the Accelerate. There's one coming up in May and one starting in June of 2025. And the Virtual Go List, we have two of those. One coming up, one just started yesterday. You could get into that. You could try to get into that. Or May 6th would be the next Virtual Go List. And the 21-day challenge just concluded, so they will be scheduling another one of those. And I have a couple of things here. But Nick, you wanted to talk about social media, so I pulled up your Facebook page with all this exciting thing happening.
Yes.
You're always excited about something.
So that's the idea. So there are two. I do the Tuesday social media, 9 a.m. There are two agents I wanted to highlight to kind of show people what I have been pretty impressed with. So I think you'll need to scroll up. That looks like it's Portland. Demetrius is here, and I'm going to highlight him. I'm so proud of him. If you could get the volume is on the upper right side. Yeah, you may need to rewind it.
Open house.
Right.
Check this out.
Excellent.
Well done. Now, if you'll scroll down, there's two that I just want to show, and then I'll talk about. Oh, yeah, there she is. VNA Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Ready? ¿Qué? ¿Entonces sorpresa?
I actually love that she actually almost gave them heart attacks twice, but we'll talk about that. It's fantastic. Okay, let's rewind it.
Nice.
Yeah. So the reason
Is there a barn in that, Nick?
There's like a shed. So kind of like a workshop, yeah. So I wanted to point out these two agents because they just do such a great job, and many of our agents do. So, you know, I'm just highlighting two because we have but I wanted to highlight those because if you follow them, there's a lot of personal with their own personal little touches about their personal life, but also personal touches with their clients. And, you know, this was a first-time home buyer, and it's just such a touching video. And it's funny. We've got a lender crying. I mean, it's just what this business is about. So first of all, I just wanted to show those videos, but I also wanted to let you guys know that you can, if you're following me and you're following Century 21, the brand, and you're following Century 21 North Star, if you create these videos and hit tag and then collaborate, you can share with me, and or you can hit collaborate with me, And I will share these videos out and it will double. Just to give you an idea, VNA, I'm not even sure on her side. I know from our side, 3,500 people have watched it in 24 hours. And these are friends and family and sphere of these people that purchased this home. And so I just wanted to show them because they're so positive and wonderful. And I also wanted to just kind of talk about how I can help you if you want to connect with me. And just call me or email me, but that you can call, share and collaborate with not just me, but with Century 21 and Century 21 North Star, because they have a powerful following. And these videos get out there, and that's what this is about. Also, I wanted to open it up. If anyone had any questions about these videos or any other thoughts about it.
Well, I just want to say, well, first of all, who cleaned up all the confetti?
Maybe her. I don't know. We'll have to ask VMA. I'm not sure.
I thought it was a video effect, but it's not. There's confetti all over the floor.
She
So
did. She
they had
had
a lot
one
of
of
fun.
those.
It's in their hair. It's everywhere.
Yeah, she had the little machine that pumps. Yes.
Well, you know what she's doing? She's put a video up there
Mhm.
that everybody involved in this is sharing and doing
Yes.
and expanding and doing so much of the marketing for her, because
Right.
it's showing the new house, and it's the buyer's opportunity to display their new house to their friends.
Yes, and they are proud of her, and she worked hard for them, so they want to promote her too, just like all of our agents. Shauna is one that her clients want to celebrate her. They know how hard, so all of our agents have that experience, and so I love that she put it in this form, and it's just a touching video, and so well done. And again, I will help you. The other thing I want to point out is I put out listings, and we want the listing. Obviously you want the product. But I want to promote more buyer side. We don't see as much of it. And that's another thing that was so important with Demetrius. He was doing an open house, helping buyers get into that townhouse that was just it is a wonderful townhouse. And so that's buyer side heavy. And that's so important. And obviously VNA, this is their new home. So I would love to see some more buyer side.
Nice.
You
But I do
need
love-
a buyer for that townhome. It's
And
price
that's
reduced,
right.
sellers motivated.
That's right. But I was laughing because I just loved it. With the confetti.
That was cute.
The startle was hilarious, but it's a funny and touching. They're both funny and touching videos. So there you go. Anyone else?
No, just
Anyone else? No?
It's okay if you don't. You get the idea. But I just thought I'd share
Okay.
it. I am highlighting. I am there on Tuesdays at 9 a.m.
Well, excellent.
Mhm.
And thank you. Yeah. And yeah, Demetrius, I love that video. That's clearly an excellent one. You look like somebody who'd be fun to work with. And that's the kind of thing. Keep making those videos, because videos are so critical
Yeah.
to social media.
Yeah. Well done.
And before we go, this scarf is available in the gift shop. We still have a couple left.
That's
Dedicated to the joy of home, Century 21.
yes. That is Disney Adventure with Karen Trost.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's our time. So great meeting, everybody. Good to check in. We will have a guest next week, and your managers are waiting for you. They are here for you. Call them if you need anything. And we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
This is our time. No, this is our century. Our gold shines bright. Because this is a network unlike any other. 135,000 affiliated agents across 84 countries and territories. In almost every Spanish-speaking country in the world. This is the most recognized name in real estate. The most respected brand in the industry. That has a nice ring to it. The leader in brand awareness 25 years in a row. This is earning accolades. More accolades. And more. Okay, that's a lot. This is making an impression. Over 27 billion of them. This is showing up big. Here, here, and all across here. Oh, and not just for clients, for the community. We're lifting up others with us. This is not resting on a legacy. This is running on it. Taking all that's been learned and seen and taught and dreamed over the past 50 years to shape and fuel the next 100. Century 21. This is our century.